Hello! So, today I'm going to be doing a little bit of drawing. I have this commission that I need to get done today. Well, not today, but that I need to do. So I figured we could draw a little bit and hang out. So, I have some music also here. If any of the levels are weird, just let me know and I can fix them. But yeah, that's what I thought we would do today. So, I have these drawings. These are like character drawings that I'm doing for like a D&D style book for someone. So this is one of the characters. They have like hoverboards and it's like they've got guns. It's like sci-fi and cool. Yeah, it's like a tabletop role play game. So I'm just going to work on the line art today and what else am I doing? And maybe coloring it if we have enough time, but definitely getting the line art done today. So, that's the plan. Yeah, I've never done a drawing. Okay, also there's this iguana that may or may not go here, so we'll consider that later. Yeah, I've never done a drawing stream before. Actually, I've only ever done one other stream before, so this is gonna be interesting. Oh, hello! How's your break going? I also have an on-screen chat now, which is interesting. Oops. That's not line art. Line art. Yeah. So I like to use this ink bleed pen for line art because it makes it so you have to do your lines less straight, which is a little life hack. If you ever want to do your lines less straight and you use Procreate, if you use that one, it works a little better. I wish there was like some sort of display. It's good. They got a food truck to come by. Oh, a whole food truck? What kind of food truck? I haven't not had food from a food truck in so long, but sometimes it really hits different. I guess I should start drawing. I was saying I wish that there was like the ability to have a separate display so you didn't have to see this so zoomed in. But I guess I'll just try to not zoom in as much. I also have to move it around my screen a lot because my iPad is cracked. Burger. That's pretty good. Burger food truck is kind of one of the weaker options though, so I don't know. Okay. We're starting to draw. What kind of burger did you get? Draw time. Oh, that's too thick. Oh my gosh. I really be acting like I never used my hands before in my life. That's okay. Where should I start? Sometimes I struggle to start the line art and I have to like start it in a couple different places and then like give up and do it again. True, I got the Starvin' Marvin. That means nothing to me. What is that? It has Marvin sauce on it. What kind of sauce is Marvin sauce? That feels a little bit cursed. Who made that sauce? Did Marvin make it? Okay, I like this line. I think I'm gonna start here. I guess we'll never know. There's also like a hot minute of delay. Oh, really? Rip. I have my like chat set to like low latency. Marvin sauce just looks like mayo. At mayo. Weird. I'm not a big fan of sauces on things. I feel like I get overwhelmed by the sauce real easily. Yeah, I don't know. What are your top 10 favorite types of sauces? I don't have any. I feel like sometimes I have to like scrape the excess sauce off of things. Oh, I'm really sorry. That like moving this around might get really annoying. I'll try to keep it upright. How much is the delay? I have it like set to low latency and the like stream to have like 0 second delay, so hopefully it's not too bad. You like dipping sauces. That's fair. Dipping sauces are pretty good. I like a good like spinach dip or guacamole, or yeah, I agree with you. Dipping sauces are superior to just like a random sauce like on a sandwich. That's overwhelming for me. I'm like, sorry, that's a little bit excessive of too many things going on. I guess I'm gonna do this whole line. Oh my gosh, I'm spinning this around so much. That's okay. The great thing about the iPad is it's so easy to spin it. Do a countdown and I'll send now when you say go. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. I guess we'll find out. That's alright. I think one of the most valuable things about drawing with an iPad is the ability to spin it around so super easy. Because you can just really like get other lines, but I imagine it's like pretty annoying to anyone who's not me. Now, that's like pretty long delay. It might just be because my Wi-Fi is bad. I'm not really sure how to fix it. And I'm not gonna fix it now. So get wrecked. I also feel like line art is a lot of redoing the same lines over and over again until it like sits in the right place. The spinning isn't annoying. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'll try to do it less. I have said that and I have not tried to do it any less, so get wrecked. Oh, that's another life hack. I keep redoing this line here because like if it touches like too close to this line, like this one right here, it gets like it is like annoying for your eyes to look at. So I might have to just like change how close these are because it like pulls them together in a weird way that's uncomfortable to look at. You know what? We're just gonna come back to that. We will deal with that problem after. Oh right, I forgot when I was drawing this I like didn't fix the neck. Okay, you know what? Actually, we're just gonna come back to all of those lines later. How's your work going? While we wait. I guess the delay is kind of long because I feel like I should start talking to fill the silence before you respond, but you are probably responding. That's alright. I guess we'll just come back to it whenever it comes. It's been a tiring day. Oh no. Lots of lifting. I went on a run this morning and it was also tiring, but just because I'm not very good at running. I like the iguana. You do like the iguana. I feel like it could be cool. I think I'm just going to do it on a separate layer in case I decide that I don't like the iguana at a later time. Because that happens sometimes. I feel like, I don't know. What's it like watching someone do line art? I feel like it's a lot different. I've mostly just watched people like paint or like coloring, and I think that's fun because you get to see all the colors. But here you just get to see me struggle to make straight lines for a hot second. The only other issue with using this pen, which has its pros because you don't have to draw as straight because it's like got a lot of texture, is that when you erase, you like snooping. That's good. When you erase, my eraser is like smooth. I could just set my eraser to a different one, I guess, but I don't want to do that. So I have to like go back over whatever I've erased. But that's pretty good. So I have this like sci-fi gun in a holster here that I haven't really thought too hard about making it not look weird. So I might have to like redo this section. We might just no, I guess we should draw it now. I guess we should draw it in now. In my original sketch of this, I had it on the other side, like so the gun was facing the other way that it's currently facing, and it made a little bit more sense how I drew it the first time. But I thought the like design got too heavy over there with it on that side, so I moved it to this side. But it looks a little bit less like a gun now. Oh, you don't have Wi-Fi? Okay, good luck. Thank you for coming for a little bit. Yeah, have fun. I hope you locate the Wi-Fi. I will be trying to figure out how to draw this gun. Oh, that's not a straight line. Yeah, I originally had this... It's kind of hard. I'm not very good at visualizing things in my mind, or just like thinking of something that looks cool on its own. So having to just like make up a fantasy weapon to fit in here is a little bit challenging for me. I mostly just have like a series of rectangles that will like look more detailed and like parts of a gun than it is, because I don't know. Like, what does a gun look like? Oh, it might be cool if I made this like a trapezoid shape. That's kind of interesting. It like fits a little better in there like that anyways too. Okay. I feel like a lot of my art process is just guessing and looking at things that kind of look cool. Something that was really interesting that I learned about was when you're drawing, it doesn't have to look exactly like whatever it is you're trying to make it look like, as long as it gets like the impression across of what it is, because I used to like spend a really long time focusing on like, oh no, this doesn't look exactly like what a real gun looks like. And then I would get like trapped in trying to make everything look exactly what it would look like, and then it would look bad because it was like too many details focused in like a small area, or just like things that are not necessary that you don't pick up on when you're just like looking at things in the real life. This is like a real flat gun. Is that weird? Potentially. We'll come back to it. Okay, wait. Upright, it's like this. I think I'm gonna make the handle stick out a little bit at an angle because that's how it fits in there. And that like would be weird to hold in real life if it was a real thing, but we don't have to worry about that because it's a fantasy gun. Fantasy guns can do whatever we want them to. You know, I guess the trigger is like in in the way. That's fine. We don't have to worry about it. It does not have to logically make sense. It would be nicer if it did, but sometimes you just remove things for a clear design. You know how it be. You know how it be. Yeah. Okay, we love perspective. We don't really understand how to do it in this, but I've added this here. Does that look bad? That looks okay. It is really flat though, so that's a little bit of a mystery. Maybe I'll change that. This one, the like handle was like real thick, and this is like real thin. But that's okay. Here we go. I watched a YouTube video today about lo-fi beats and how they help you study and focus, and the person who made the video, she like, I guess I don't remember what the channel is called, but the person who made the video, like tried to code like an AI to predict like a lo-fi beat and make lo-fi beats, and it was quite interesting. It worked like semi okay in the video, but I thought it was really cool. I usually don't listen to a lot of lo-fi beats, but right now we're listening to Stream Beats by Harris Heller, and I really like it. It's like super, I don't know, it's good, and you can listen to it on stream, and I think that's hype. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like to listen to words with, oh wait, I have another string here. How should I connect this? That line's like right on it. Okay, whatever. I'll make it this line. That's okay. We're problem solving. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna erase this here. Yeah. I'm so impressed by people who can code and just like sit down and like code an AI to like anticipate and guess like how to make a lo-fi beat. That's so cool. I can't even like begin to wrap my mind around how much work that would take. I took like one computer science class in grade 10, and I was sat in the other room from the teacher because they just like did not have enough computers in one room for everyone. And I did not learn a single thing because of that. I was just like away from everything that was happening. Is this gonna interfere with these lines? Maybe. So it was so hard. And like I see whenever people like are good at like robotics and coding, I'm just like blown away because it takes so much effort. That's a janky heart. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll draw it this way. It takes so much effort. And like that girl from the video that I was talking about today just like sits down and is like, I'm just gonna make an AI machine to like make not stream beats, lo-fi beats. That's so impressive. We had to code very few things. One of them was a rock, paper, scissors game, which I don't know if I think we were supposed to do a rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. So we had like more things involved in the coding, but it do be confusing. I would love to learn how to do it one day, but would I? Coding involves a lot of math, and I am not good at math. Okay, I think 3 stickers might be the vibe, so it doesn't get overwhelming. But I feel like 3 stickers is not enough. What if we put another one? That's pretty good. Okay, this is going better than I thought it would. I don't know why I thought it would go bad. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble if you can do line art one day or not. Sometimes it really works out, and sometimes it really struggles. But today it's going okay, which is great. Except that line lines up right with the heart, and I hate that. Okay, to make this smaller. That's my number one. Okay, not my number one, but that's like a real big art tip. If you ever get lines that like should not converge or touching each other, it gets like to be real weird to look at. So like that, I would even say that's probably fine, but I'm gonna move it over a little bit. If that line were to go right into the end of the heart, like your brain is like, what is going on there? So yeah, I always try to make sure that the lines don't touch, except sometimes that's hard and I'm lazy, and sometimes they do touch, and I just hope that nobody else notices that they're touching. I need to make this a bit smaller so it doesn't touch there. Here we go. Nice. Except now they're uneven. Those look weird there. I'm gonna move them to up instead of here. Undo. Where should I put them? Up here? Is that weird? I think that's okay. One of my other favorite things about Procreate is you can undo like so many times. They like do not have a limit for the undo, and that's such a relief. I used to, before I had an iPad to draw with, I used to draw on the tablet with like the free program Krita, which is a great program. It's like entirely free and gives you so much stuff. But God bless, is their undo pretty short. I'm pretty sure it only goes back like 6. So like you gotta be concise with what you're undoing because you will not be able to. Is that better? I think that's better. Yeah. There's nothing worse than like running out of undos. Oh my god. So this is great. You can just undo for all of eternity. And I love that. Okay. Here we go. Oh. More spinning. Oh, good. Here we go. I really like, so the like style of these characters is like fantasy, not fantasy, like sci-fi, but like with like more modern-y skateboardy clothes, and I think that's super fun. I really like the blend of like, kind of like how Big Hero 6 did their like, I guess not their character design, because their characters didn't really look like it, but like the vibes of the like scenery in Big Hero 6. Is that gonna interfere? I think that's okay. I really liked the like vibe of this setting of like their San Francisco. I thought the like mix was really cool, and I really like when you put it together. So that's kind of what these like character designs were inspired by, a little bit. Like a mixture. Oh my gosh, I need to drink water. Hydration break, water bottle ASMR. Yeah. Okay, but I think it's going good so far. Except the neck. We're coming back to that. Okay, here we go. I'm actually like pleasantly surprised that I haven't had to like restart this line art yet. I think it looks pretty good. The like other ones I did, I had to restart the line art a good few times. Oh wait, I'll show you actually the like reference. This is one of the other characters that I have. Oh, it's the opacity is down. Oh, I'm drawing the lines above it. Nice. Yeah, this is like one for reference for like the vibes of what we're up to today. So we're doing that. It's going good. I had to restart the line art like a few times, the other one, and I had another character that I don't have like right here to pull up, but I spent so long redoing things on it. I don't even know. It was just like not working out that day. A lot just kept not feeling right, and I just had to redo it, and I did the face for it over like so many times. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing now? I'm trying to think of things to talk about, but the only thing I can think to talk about is TMI. My sister, okay, I'll tell you anyways. I'm pretty sure I'm just by myself, but that's okay. My sister made these cupcakes. They were good cupcakes, you know? Sometimes that like boxed cake mix be hidden different. Oh my god. She made these like she made cupcakes with this like boxed cake and just like some like frosting that she like food colored, and the food coloring was like dark blue green, and it has been dyeing. Everyone who has consumed them poops like a horrible green. I like was like, oh my god, am I dying? What's happening to me? Everything is going downhill. But it was just and Google was like, sometimes children can get this after eating too much frosting, and I was like, oh, I be eating too much frosting. Okay, let's make these lines the same size. That's how my day's been going. You know, I live a pretty exciting life. Wait, is this line connected on this one? It is. Okay. Here we go. Connecting this line. Yeah. Christina's here. Hello, thanks for coming to my stream. You came just in time for me to talk about my green poop. I don't know if you have a Twitch account, but if you don't, you should make one so you can talk to me in the stream chat. It's fun. If not, you just get to listen to me talk about random garbage all the time. Let's think. What other random garbage have we talked about? Okay, on the same theme. Hello. Hello, Robin. How's it going? We drawing. You have arrived just in time to hear me not talk about green poop. So, congratulations on your timing. I do need to work on this neck area that I didn't plan out all the way, but I don't really want to deal with that, so we might just move on down to the arms. You don't have a Twitch account, so I couldn't send a chat, but I'm going to try to figure that out. Okay, cool. You should. It's pretty easy. I think you just have to, like, sign up for an account. And then you can vibe. Alright. What should we do next? I love to leave the things that are most complicated till last. So I think we're just going to go start doing the pants. Yes. Okay, so now that some new people are here, we're drawing some like fantasy characters for this like tabletop game that I'm drawing for. Yeah, the theme is like fantasy, like they have like hoverboards and like blaster guns. It's going good. I'm looking at Pokemon Snap reviews, but then I remembered literally every game has a 7 out of 10, so it didn't help. Oh yeah. That's a little bit rough. I saw Pokemon Snap came out. I've never played a single Pokemon game, so I don't really have any thoughts on that, but if it's good, I might give it a try. I feel like it's a little weird to play. Actually, that's a lie. I did play a little bit of Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I didn't really like it. Hi, I follow you on Instagram and I saw your story. Hello! Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm just drawing the line art for this drawing right now. We're working on the pants. How is everyone doing today? My chat is also, like, pretty delayed, I think. I'm not really sure how to fix that. Actually, we're gonna do the belt first. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, Pokemon. Pokemon Snap just is take pictures of weird dogs, no gameplay from the other games, lol. Wait, really? Oh yeah, I think Kelp told me about that. You like, was it on the DS? Is that the one that you take pictures with? What is the point of Pokemon Snap? Please deliver me your knowledge. I'm outing myself as a real fool right now. I'm not having any Pokemon knowledge. Okay. Does that look too weird going into this shirt? I think that's fine. Alright, okay, we got a lot of lines over here, so we have to like space this next belt loop good enough that like it gives it some room to breathe. By the way, the Discord link below your channel doesn't work. Oh no, really? Wait, I might work? That's lame. Let's see. Does this one work? I have a command for it. If that doesn't work, let me know. I made a Discord server. Also, you can join it. It doesn't have anything in it right now. But, I have, like, the thing set up. It's just blank and empty because this is my second stream ever. So, we'll see. We're seeing how it goes. The command one doesn't work either. Oh my god. Rip? Okay. I'm not sure if I should figure that out right now. Actually, I probably can. Let's see. Let me... Okay. I'll paste it. Wait. Let me know if that one works. It was on the N64. You get points for taking better pictures. It's a photography puzzle game. Oh, that sounds cool, actually. Did it, like... How did it judge... That one's good. Yay, okay. I guess I'll have to update that. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, that sounds cool, actually. How did it, like, grade the pictures? Was it just based on... I'm curious. Was it an AI learning machine? The real challenge is drawing all these belt loops the same size. Okay. That's fine. Yep. Okay. The theme of this character is supposed to be chill, so let me guys know if you're getting that vibe, because that's the vibe it's supposed to give off. Each of the, like, character drawings that I've done for this so far have, like, a main personality trait that they're based on for, like, the game, and you get to, like, pick your whatever main thing for them, and yeah, this one is chill. Again, may or may not include this iguana if we're feeling it. We're gonna think about that later, once we've considered more things and if I know how to draw an iguana. Oh my gosh. Okay, belt. Let's do this part. I love drawing long, curvy lines like this. Line art is just a lot of like doing and redoing the same things over and over until it has the right vibe. So I feel like it's probably not that interesting to watch me draw one line again and again. The pictures were graded based on size of the Pokemon, how well centered it is, and getting them to do cool poses gets you bonus points. Then you got multipliers for having multiple of the same Pokemon in a shot. Oh, that's pretty neat. Did you have to like walk around? Or was it just like, it was like all, never mind. I feel like I'm saying dumb things. It was just in the game. Centered, not cantered. They could be cantering, maybe. How fast they go in. That's cool. That sounds kind of fun. I feel like I didn't, because I'd never played the, okay, those lines are touching too much. Oh, I guess they're just gonna touch like that, huh? I feel like because I never played any of the original Pokemon games, I really like lack the nostalgia of playing it as a child. And so they're like not as enjoyable. For me, at least. I played one Pokemon game, actually. I'm lying to you. I played one Pokemon game, rented from the Best Buy, when I had an incredible fever in elementary school and was homesick for, like, a week. And I just, like, I don't even know which game it was. This is how much I was unaware of what I was doing. It was, like, one where you could play as the actual Pokemon, not as, like, a trainer. So you got to, like, run around in, like, a world as the Pokemon, and I played it until I threw up. And all I remember are, like, feverish clips of, like, running around. I'm pretty sure there was, like, a volcano at one point. And that's, like, the entirety of my Pokemon experience. My mother also got real into Pokemon Go when that came out, so we did a lot of that for a bit. You're in a little car and it moves you automatically. That's kind of cute. Yeah, if anyone knows what Pokemon game I'm talking about, that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon lets you be a Pokemon. Maybe. Let me look it up, what a picture of that looks like. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Are we gonna uncover the secret lore of my childhood? Huh. I don't think it was that one. It was like 3D more. I might also just be misremembering what it looked like due to my fevered state. Okay, we're back to this. Let's do the checkers now. Oh dear, I'm gonna do this line all as one on a different layer. That's another life hack. If you ever need your lines to all connect in like a smooth way, just do it all on one on a different layer and then erase the parts that you don't want to be there. Then you don't get any like disconnected parts. It looks nicer. I think it does at least. You don't have to listen to anything I say. Oh, that's not very centered. I also think, okay, actually, I was going to say I also think it looks nice when you give the lines a little break in them, but that's not going to work because we're filling this part in. The pressure of doing one long straight line is real. Okay, nice. Oh my gosh, speaking of long-lost games that I played as a child and had no memory of until the other day. Okay, there's like a ton of games. It could be lots of Pokemon games. Maybe Pokemon Stadium? I feel like this is a questionable search because my memories of it are foggy at best. I don't think it was that one either. Was it even a real Pokemon game? Unsure. But I think you could be a Pokemon, and I think there was running around involved. It was like, yeah, I don't know. Like there was like a whole world. It was like kind of open world, but not really. That's like what I have for my memories. But again, I was experiencing an absolute fever and I was like 10, so who knows. Yeah, one game that I used to play that I like could never remember the name of or what it was even. I saw a TikTok. Okay, I guess I have to connect these lines so it's not weird. I saw a TikTok of someone who was like, what kind of like MMO, not MMO, I don't know. What kind of like online multiplayer game, that is MMO. What kind of online multiplayer game did you play as a child? And someone in the comments had it there and it like unlocked a million memories. It was called Free Realms because I really wanted to play World of Warcraft as a kid, but I was not allowed and I did not have a computer. Whoa, these got increasingly larger. And that was just like a free version and I had never been able to remember what it was, only that I used to play it and it was so satisfying to finally have the answers to what I was looking for. Did anybody ever play that? I'm not even sure. I don't even remember what the point of it was. I just know you could like run around and you could have a house. And those are the main things. Those are the main qualities I look for in a game. Can you run around and can you have a house? Oh, don't worry about it. I guess we're coloring these in one by one. That's fine. Am I still on a different layer? I am. That's okay. I've never heard of it. Yeah, I have no concept of how big it was. It was just like a 3D like world, like multiplayer world. And you could like, you could run around and like, I assume you were meant to interact with the other people because everyone was there. Like, I'm pretty sure the point of it was to like talk to people online, but I did not talk to anyone. I only like ran around the worlds and like unlocked things for my home. And we know my priorities. Okay, the checks on this belt are real uneven, but sometimes it be like that. And I don't feel like changing them. So they're going to remain that way. Huh, that's weird. I guess it needs to go like this. That's how the pattern goes. We're vibing. I feel like I played a lot of obscure video games as a child because I was only allowed to play like a random assortment of games and we didn't have very many. So my like video game knowledge is real bizarre. One of the weirdest games I think we had for the Wii was this like Build-A-Bear Workshop Wii video game where you could like go through the map and it was like the seasons, and I think it was just a bunch of mini games that you could play as like a Build-A-Bear or something. And I remember like vividly wishing that I could live in that world. I feel like I was really just about wanting to be in different fantasy worlds. Fantasy might be a little bit of a stretch to call the Build-A-Bear Wii game a fantasy game. That's funny. Yeah, only have bizarre, obscure video game knowledge. This belt, the different sizing is a little annoying, but it's probably okay. We had a gingerbread ninja game for the Wii, and we also had Dewey's Adventure, where you played as a drop of water. What the heck? Those sound better. Those sound better than the Build-A-Bear Wii game. I really wish that I had like played more games as a child because I really liked them. But I mostly like would play them with my dad, and then he just like got bored of playing them with me, and then I did not have anyone to do them with because none of my friends like played any games and neither did my sister, so I just kind of like did whatever on my own. You know how it be. One of my streamer friends plays this game called Unravel, where you play as a little yarn person. It's so, so cute. Oh my god, that sounds so cute. What's it about? Do you unravel? That seems a little bit morbid. No gamer friends. I know, it's so sad. I had no gamer friends. Could you imagine how good at games I could be if I had gamer friends? I might be unstoppable, not gonna lie. I gotta get all into the games now as an adult, and it's lamer, but it's kind of fun because I get to finally live my dreams. I also used to like watch a lot of gaming YouTube and just live vicariously through playthroughs and let's plays because I was like, there's no way that I could ever play this game. Even though I could have actually just played them. I was just like a coward, I guess. I've entered my gamer era. I say as I'm not gaming on twitch.tv. We are drawing here today. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing games. Like, part of the reason why I wanted to start streaming is so I get to like actually play games, because or else I will just watch other people play them and just never play them. You go on adventures and are searching for patches to fill a scrapbook. You have to find yarn bundles to continue on because you start to unravel as you go. Oh my god, that sounds kind of fun. What's it on? I mean, it does not sound fun to unravel and have to find things so you don't perish. But that does sound kind of cool. Also, sorry for all the spinning of this. I'm trying not to spin it as much as I normally do, so it's less awful to watch. I will spin my body instead. Oh. Here we go. PC, I think. Okay, that's cool. I might check it out. It sounds kind of fun. I'm always looking for games to check out now because I want to start playing new things. Should we do the other leg? Yeah. Oh, that's a weird... Actually, that's okay. Cool. Oh. I'm surprised the line art is going well today. We have Unravel on the PlayStation, actually. Okay, cool. I do not have a PlayStation, but I do have a bad computer. I have a laptop that struggles a lot, but that's okay. I also have Switch, so if it's available... Is it available? Probably not. Oh. This is not lining up in a cool way. Also, let me know if the music is ever too loud. I just have it like... Or too quiet. I can change it. The volume on my laptop is like really different than the volume on anything else that ever exists. So it's a little bit hard to determine how loud things are. I don't want to be deafening you or like have you straining to hear it. Just checked. It's on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox One. Okay, cool. I'll look at that after. I'll make a note of it. I'll write it down. I guess the music volume is probably not too bad when it's just like lo-fi and there's no words. One of my like biggest pet peeves ever is when you're like in somewhere in public and you can hear that a song is playing, but you can't hear the words, or like you can't make out any of the lyrics to figure out what song it is. Whenever that happens to me, I just like walk around the store or like wherever and I'm like until I can like figure out what song is playing. Oh, yes. Do you experience that too? It's like, it's so annoying to me. And people are like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I am unable to do anything until I figure out what song is playing in the background. Oh, that's kind of weird. Nice. Okay. Cool. This line art is going surprisingly well today. Usually I have to like start over a couple times because it like started to go janky, so I'm like kind of pleasantly surprised that I haven't had to redo it a bunch. We might actually get to coloring and stuff today. Oh, that doesn't line up. Nice. OMG, just saw that you're Canadian. Me too. Yeah, I am Canadian. That's exciting. We're currently experiencing a very Canadian spring where everything is brown and unalive. And that's pretty enjoyable. It's not. I would love for everything to be green again. But it's on its way. Yay, Canadian. James, hello! How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. I'm drawing this character today. How are you? I'm good. Yeah. Today's been pretty good so far. I went on a run. It was a little bit awful, but it's okay. You only get better if you do things more. Sometimes things start out real awful. I'm also trying not to spin this too much. I say every time I spin this. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Are you guys having a good Saturday? If it's Saturday where you are? Probably because everyone is Canadian here, I think. Oh, that line was a little bit janky. Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like it's not fun to just watch me do only feet, but I have to zoom in to draw feet. I want to figure out if there's a way to get like a second display of this so you can see the like zoomed out drawing as well. I went on a run the other day too and I almost passed away. Oh my god, it's so brutal. It's so brutal if you haven't run in a while. I had a really busy school semester. So I just genuinely had no time to do anything other than school. So my like fitness went way down. TBH, the spinning doesn't bother me, but I can't speak for the rest of y'all. Haha. Okay, good, because I keep doing it and I feel bad about it. Yeah, and like trying to get back into running when you haven't ran for like months is like so brutal. It's okay. I feel like my main determination to run is fueled by, I'm like, if I was in a zombie apocalypse, I need to be able to get away. You know? You never know. If someone's gonna chase me, I gotta be ready. I gotta be prepared. I used to run with like this app called Zombies Run where it like took you through a little not fantasy. I keep saying fantasy today. Fantasy is the word of the day, y'all. It would just like take you through, it was like basically a podcast, but while you were running. And it would like be like, if you run this far, you pick up the supplies and you guys get to stay alive. And then you could turn on a mode where you would have to sprint if like zombies were chasing you, and that was super fun for me to run around my neighborhood like that. Hello! How was your semester? It was a semester. The second semester of this year was very rough. The like scheduling of everything got a little crazy. But I'm really glad it's done. I did better than I thought I was going to do, especially in the middle. Wait, what's that zombie thing called? That sounds fun. I'm pretty sure it was just called Zombies Run. It was just like an app on the App Store. And I just had like the free version. You like run out of them eventually unless you want to pay for more, but it was fun for me. And like you can listen to like whatever else while it's happening. It will just like lower your music or like interject. It was like super enjoyable. It also got me to run like the longest I've ever ran because I was just like I was really vibing with the zombie plot of my run. Fat oof, but I'm glad you survived. Me too. At the end of my semester, we had some labs, okay, let's give some context to this. In the vet tech program. So, at the end of the semester, we had some large animal labs and we had some cow labs at this like research facility. So it's a research facility, so it's like very biosecure, and they're like a big hazard of specifically cryptosporidium, because they like do some research with it there. And while we were cleaning up, so it's like transmitted in poop, obviously. Well, not obviously, but that's how it is. So while we were cleaning up the like surgery suite where we were, which was just full of cow manure, I like had this brush and I was like cleaning off this thing, and it was just like a brush full of poop and water, and I like flicked it off this metal bar just like up entirely into my face, just like a full face full of like liquidy cow poop in like this like biosecure research center, and I was so afraid that I was going to give myself cryptosporidium for the end of the semester, but that did not happen. So really, that's like the best possible outcome for the end of my semester, was not getting a infectious disease. How was your semester? Are you done now? I'm pretty sure everyone's done now, I think, from all the universities. I'm not sure. If you're still in your finals, I feel bad for you because I'm no longer in my finals. I have 2 more weeks, sadly. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I just rubbed it all in. No. Oh. I will pray for you. I'll send you good luck on your exams if you have them. Exam season is not a fun one. I still have 2 months left of school. Oh yes, you're a child. I've got a practicum in June, but I'm done classes. Big oof. Oh, that's exciting. What's the like practicum for? Or like what are you doing? I know you're in pharmacy, I think. Do you get to give people medicine? Is that allowed? Probably. Okay, let's get this shoe going. Oh, that's a little bit thick. That line's a little bit thick. My chat is like pretty delayed, so I'm just gonna fill time until someone answers. Or if you don't have to answer, that's okay too. I don't mind. School is such a weird time, but when it's done, you get to truly vibe, and I love that. There's like nothing better to me than having to no longer do things. Yeah, I just work in a pharmacy for a month and make people medicine and stuff. Oh, that sounds like a chill job. Do you get paid for a practicum? I'm not sure how yours will work, but that sounds like a cool experience. Do you remember how I was planning to go into engineering? I changed my mind and now I'm going into musical theater, lol. Whoa, really? That's like way different. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My voice is in like the yellow. I'm gonna try to not scream at you all. I'll turn it down a little bit. That's a big change, but that's kind of exciting. How's this looking? That's super exciting. Do you start in the fall then for that? Oh my gosh, you pay them to do your practicum? You pay them like $1,000? I'm so sorry. That's so upsetting. Oh my. I have to do a practicum, but I do not have to pay them. Yeah, in the fall at McEwen. Yay, that's cool. I hope you guys get to be back in person and you don't have to do musical theater online, because that would really suck. I'm not really sure how that would go. Yeah, I'm glad because I have a job in my field while I'm doing school. I'm studying counseling and working at a youth community organization. Oh, that's really cool. It must be so nice to be able to have a job like while you're in school in the thing you're doing. I feel like that really helps like I don't know what word I'm looking for. Solidify it? I don't know, just like help reinforce whatever you're learning. That's really neat. I really should have a job in my thing while I'm doing this, but I don't because I have yet to apply. OMG. Okay. I'm not going to read that one out. Nice. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like lots of people in my program all have a job at a clinic while they're in school and they're like know how to do stuff, and I have like never worked in a clinic, so I'm really out here. They're like, "Can you open this IV bag?" And I'm like, "No, I do not know how to open this." They're like, why not? Come on, get it together. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm such a fool. We had some like anesthesiology labs this semester, where we had to like surgery assist and like do things, and I was on like IV catheter for one of them, so I was just like in charge of setting up all the like fluids and putting the catheter in, and you have to get like, I don't know, just all the like supplies ready, and I was like so lost. I was just like wandering around until someone helped me. I feel that in my classes too. Basically everyone works in a pharmacy already. Oh man. Like how are people doing that? How did you get in there already? Aren't we in school for this? Oh my, I feel, yeah. It's interesting. I should really try to get in there. But yeah, one of the things for one of the anesthesiology labs we had that I got so lucky for was, so we our like clinic does tattoos for the animals' ears for like identification as well as microchipping. So just so we can practice both of them, and somehow out of every single position I could have had, just like a random pick from the class, I got the tattooing one, which is like the only thing that I could have got that I would have been comfortable with, because I've done tattooing before, and it was so funny for me because like I assume that's like a position that most people do not feel comfortable with, because when she like, oh, that's awesome, thank you, it was so funny when like the teacher came up to me, she was like, do you feel comfortable doing this? And I was like, mm-hmm. And she was like, what, like, you do really? And I was like, yeah. And I got to feel so big-brained and cool that day, because every other day I feel like a fool. So that's my fun tale. Is that line weird? Little bit. Okay, guys, I'm taking a quick hydration break. Don't mind me. Get to listen to water bottle sounds. ASMR. Yeah. I'm gonna get real close and start clinking things around. I always make that joke, and I will not actually do it because like I have a real microphone now, and I feel like that will be genuinely annoying if I just start making sounds into the microphone. I think we're gonna come back to these lines in the pants because I don't feel like figuring them out yet. We're gonna move on to this bag thing. My main part of like the designing of these is like a lot of info. Oh yeah, okay, so there's new people here. I'll show you the reference. This is not reference. This is another character. So these are like characters for like a D&D style game. It's like more sci-fi, like it's like skateboardery and like blasters. I don't know how to explain it. So basically just putting a lot of stuff on there. This is this one character. Oh, also each of the characters is based off of like a main like personality trait. So this is Smarts, who've already done. Today we're working on Chill, which is what we're up to. Whoa, that's so good. Thank you. Yeah, so that's the vibe. Ska themed. maybe. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. Thank you to everyone who has come and hang out with me a little bit. It's really cool. I kind of expected to just be talking to myself the entire time, so it's really neat that you guys are here. I appreciate it a lot. Okay. What are the words on the shirt? It says Scram Rat. I asked like the person who I'm doing these drawings for just some like places or like logos or things in their like world building, and that's just one of the names that they gave me for this. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be, but yeah, that's what that is. It's cool. When the like, it's gonna be like a book you can come out to purchase when it comes out, if you got any of you are interested in it. I'm pretty sure when I'm done, I'm gonna be posting all the stuff whenever it comes out. How do you draw a bag? I've got distracted now. I just drew like a weird rectangle where we're hitting the undo a bunch. It's time to spam undo. Okay. Oh, we've been drawing on this layer the whole time. That's okay. Alright. Okay, let's think a little bit more about what this should look like. I just drew the same thing. Okay. Something that I learned, like, when I was tattooing, is that, like, you don't have to draw everything, like, exactly what it's supposed to look like. As long as it kind of gives off the idea or vibe that it is what you want it to be, that's usually, like, good enough and can even, like, be clearer than other things. Because I used to struggle a lot with drawing, like, all of the details of something, and then it, like, wouldn't look good, or it would look, like, too confusing, because it wasn't, like, clarified, I guess. But, so I really learned that when I had to draw, like, designs that, like, make sense and are clear. I think that's probably one of the most helpful things that I've done. If any of you guys are interested in drawing, or, like, just, like, improving your drawing skills at all, I would really suggest just trying to make a couple designs of something that are, like, simplified and just, like, make sense very clearly with what it is. Especially if you like to draw things like plants or whatever, because I used to, like, never be able to draw plants because I would just be like, oh, I have to draw every single line on this leaf and every single branch that there possibly is that I can see, and it would just make it look really bad. Until I was like, oh, yo, you don't have to do that. You can draw, like, 3 leaves and people will know that that's a plant. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's something that really helped me. Oh, have any of you guys watched the Shadow and Bone Netflix series? If you have read Shadow and Bone or Six of Crows, I really want to know. Because I have some thoughts on it. I've heard of it. Okay. The books, I really like the books for it. The Netflix series, I don't want to spoil anything, because I get the feeling that nobody has, like, read it or watched it, but there's some thoughts to be had. I don't know why I'm struggling with this bag. We might come back to that later. I've read 1 chapter of Six of Crows a little while ago. That's fair. The very first chapter of it's different than the rest of the book. Unless you just started on not the first chapter. That would be a little bit of a spicy way to read. Oh my god, I had one friend who used to read books from the, like, she would read, like, the first chapter and the last chapter, and then she would read the whole book, and I was like, why would you do that to yourself? Couple questions. Are your commissions open right now? If yes, how would I contact you to request a commission? My commissions are not open yet. I have a bunch of projects lined up that I wasn't able to do during school, so I kind of have, like, a spam list of things that I'm getting through, but I will open them once I'm done everything. Probably the best way to contact me is either through Instagram DMs or over email, if you want. Yeah, they'll be open soon, once I'm finished all this stuff that I have. It was weird how they invited all the guards into that building thing, and then the guards just stood there. True. Yeah, the start of it is a little bit weird, but I enjoyed them. I really like how she, like, writes characters, and, like, the interactions between, not the interactions, so, like, relationships between all the characters and how they interact. I thought it was really fun. She also loves to give us the good tropes, like enemies to lovers and slow burn, and I say, yes, thank you for feeding me today. Do you need to read the first series before Six of Crows? You don't. They're, like, completely different. There's only, like, one or two reoccurring characters that happens in it, but, like, I read Six of Crows before I read the other ones. I also think Six of Crows is, like, a much better series than the first one. I'm pretty sure the Shadow and Bone was her first book series, and you can kind of tell a little bit in the first book. She really picks it up by the third one, but the first one's a little rough. It's a little annoying. But yeah, I think Six of Crows is worth the read if you like YA books. It's really enjoyable. How do you draw a chain? These lines are all together. That's okay. OMG, have you ever read A Darker Shade of Magic? Oh no, we're gonna start doing this thing again where I've never read any of the same books as you. I haven't read it. I think you'd like it a lot. I'm looking to read a lot more books now that I don't have school. I also still have your book. I haven't read it yet. It's sitting. I'm going to read it soon because I don't have classes anymore, and then I will give it back to you. But I can add that one to my list. If anyone else here likes to read books and wants to give me book suggestions, feel free. Oh, no problem. Haha. I also have, wait, let me see. Oh, I don't have it copied anymore. Here we go. In this Discord that I made, if you want to join it, I have a book club section, book suggestions section, where I thought if more people were interested in reading the same books as me, we could all talk about them and people will give me suggestions. The book I gave you is like not high fantasy. It's kind of a sad book, but it's really beautiful. It has Ari and Dante vibes. Oh, that's cool. I haven't read a book like that in a while, so that might be nice. I mean, will I cry? That's what we want to know. This is a bit of a chunky chain. Maybe a little. Okay. Should I take that as a challenge? I have not cried in many books I've read. I can't remember. Okay, that's alright. I'll let you know, I guess, when I read it. Okay, I guess we should do this arm. I just remember the vibe. That's fair. I had, like, a goal to read, like, as many books as I could, basically, like, last year. And I definitely only remember the vibe of some of them. Okay, this is... I don't like this line here. Okay, here we go. When I was in school, I was like feeling like, I was like, oh, my brain is so full. I'm never going to be able to think about anything else. And then like immediately I spent like one day off out of school with like nothing to do. And I was like, wow, I have so many thoughts. I should download an audiobook so I don't have to think them. So, might get real back into reading a lot of books. You know how it be. One of my favorite things to do is like walk around or like bike ride and listen to like an audiobook or a like fiction podcast, because then you really just get to like, I don't know, be immersed in it. I find if I like try to listen to those things while I'm not doing anything, like my mind wanders too much to like focus on them. But that's like the perfect amount of thing to think about to like really enjoy a good podcast and or audiobook. Okay. This part's a little weird. That's alright. Oh, I haven't done that face at all yet. Usually I start with that. I don't know why I didn't. That's okay. We'll come back to it. Also, real questionable is this hand here. I'm pretty sure I originally drew this sketch with it in the pocket, but then I did not do that. So it's just kind of off to the back. You know, we don't have to think about it too hard. We love to hide hands so we don't have to draw them. Oh. Here we go. Okay. I think this is looking pretty good. I think I need to think about the perspective of this. You just joined the Discord. Thank you. Hands are hard, no judgment. Yeah, hands are just like so confusing to me. I always just try to avoid drawing them. That's a horrible habit. That's a bad habit. I should just like learn how to draw them so I don't have to do that, but They always end up looking wild. I feel like hands really look good if you know how to stylize them, but you like have to understand how hands work, and I do not. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, the Discord is like brand new. It has like nothing on it, like no people there yet. So thanks for joining. I hope we can make it like a nice place to talk about things. Make her wear mittens. It's a character choice. Honestly, the other character that I drew for this has like gloves on, because I was like, I'm not trying to draw the details of fingers. Okay, this makes sense, I think. Like, I genuinely went through a phase where I would just draw every character in like winter or like fall so I could just have them be wearing mitts because I was like, I'm not drawing these hands. One thing that I would get asked for like flash designs when I was tattooing all the time was hands. People were like, please give us hand designs. And I was like, I would like sit and try to draw them and I was like, I can't. They look so bad. I'm sorry, I'm not purposely ignoring your design. I just cannot draw hands. Alternate universe where people conveniently don't have hands. Exactly. AU, we're all in the Animal Crossing world. We only have orb hands. Y'all rocking with the orb hands? This kind of just looks like a phone strapped to her arm. That's okay. I think, okay. Oh, that's not correct. Okay. How do we make this go on here in a way that looks like it could actually be going on here? Not like that. Okay. We're doing a lot of spinning right now. I'm sorry. We've entered the spinning arc. I have a real big problem with not just picking up random things that people say and saying them all the time and being annoying. I'm exposing myself, especially if I'm just like just talking on my own. I will just start saying nonsense and I'm like, oop, exposing myself for being a loser here. Haha, I have a tattoo of the hands from the famous painting Creation of Adam, and the artist and I were both bitching about how hard it is to draw hands for a solid 15 minutes during the tattoo. Oh, it's so hard to draw hands. I feel that. That's cool. I really like that tattoo. It looks really nice. Like, I know, like, lots of people have it, but it just looks good. It's just, like, a really nice one to have. Especially if it's, like, placed well. You keep apologizing. Sometimes you just gotta spin around, though. You're right. No more apologizing for the spinning. We just be spinning. I'm probably gonna apologize again. But that's just 'cause, I don't know, I feel like it's weird to look at it from that angle. Here we go. Oh, that got thick. Oh, the line art vibes of doing the same line over and over again. Okay, that's better. Nice. What should this device be? You guys have any suggestions of what I should put in it? It's like some sort of screen thing, but the context is, it's like they're fighting monsters. They're in the future, maybe? There's like a big mix of like technology. So, if you guys have any suggestions of what these things should actually be, or like what the screens should have on them, I would like to know, because I have to add some stuff. Oh, I didn't finish the gun. That's okay. I guess we could do that now. I don't know why I just stopped doing the gun. That's kind of strange. Heart rate monitor, some stats, time might be cool. Actually, like a heart rate thing might be cool if it was like the like Not the flat line thing, but that thing. What's that called? I should know what that's called. I was also going to say a vitals monitor. Okay, we'll do that. That's a cool idea. I like that. Put a Rickroll on the screen. What if I have like, this one had like a lot of screens in it. What if I put like, I just like drew the Rickroll onto one of the screens? Probably would not be appreciated by the person paying me to draw this. Okay. Oh, right, the gun. Okay. Fantasy gun time. I was saying before when I was drawing this gun and then I gave up on the gun that I'm not very good at envisioning things in my head. So, like, making up a fantasy weapon is kind of difficult and none of the things on it make sense. Put a QR code that leads to a Rickroll. Ooh, I like that. The layers. They gotta work to get Rickrolled. Is it a good Rickroll if you didn't have to work to get Rickrolled? I feel like that really hits different. I guess we're going with random circles. What even are parts of a gun? Anyone know gun parts here? My favorite gun part is the disconnected snowman. Oh, that's not centered. Oh. Weird. The spacing is a little different here, but we'll just make it a little thicker so it's fine. Oh, this one's like, okay. Here we go. Oh. That's okay. Alright, we're having another hydration break. More water bottle ASMR. A safety switch. There's a safety switch so it doesn't go off and a trigger so it does go off. You're right. I actually drew this in a way where you can't, the trigger doesn't like fit anywhere. So we're ignoring the trigger. But I will add a safety switch. That's kind of a good one. What if the thing on the arm can project things? Oh, like a hologram? That'd be pretty cool. I'm not sure how I would draw that though, because it would have to like come out like this way, you know, and that would be weird. Well, that wouldn't be weird. I just don't want to draw it upside down. I say as I'm spinning everything around and I don't have to draw it upside down. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh. That's kind of weird. Oh well. I feel so envious of people who can like picture things in their heads. Oh my gosh. So like, you know that like thing where you're like supposed to like picture an apple? Can you move it around in the space? Can you make it this color now? Or just like to test if you can picture things in your brain. I'm like really bad at that. I can like do the first step of like picturing whatever. No, not even sometimes. But like moving it around or like changing it up, it like completely escapes me. I'm like, I don't know. I do not see a single thing up here. It is blank, homies. I am so sorry. We are experiencing no thoughts all the time. How's that? It's kind of cool. Is that? I can't even picture a single apple. Okay, good. I feel you. Head empty. Head empty, no thoughts. We got real no thoughts hours. Some people are so good at picturing things. I remember one of the first things, like, not one of the first things, but one of my, like, first interactions with Kepler was just, like, asking him to draw random animals, and he could just do it. We were like, draw a shrimp, and he was like, bet? And I was like, you just pictured a shrimp in your mind? I could not even picture, like, a cat. I was so impressed. Oh my god, speaking of shrimp, did you guys know there are lake shrimp? Okay, I gotta head out. Have a good rest of stream. Okay, have fun. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much for coming by. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I can picture things in my head, but I can't draw it at all. That's fair. Drawing and picturing in your head is very different. I can draw, but I cannot picture anything in my head. Bye, Zoomer. Maybe I should color these in. I feel like they look a little too busy. Oh yes, I was saying, speaking of shrimp, did you know there are lake shrimp? We went on a walk to this like lake the other day, and we were like looking at the water, and we are like, what is that? Are those fish? What are they? And we're like, that looks like a shrimp. And then we had to look it up. It was a shrimp. I did not know that there could be like freshwater shrimps just like vibing in a lake. I feel like, I don't know, is that common knowledge? Did you guys know about the lake shrimps? Am I just like the only one who didn't know? Is that circle weird? Oh, I don't like that. Maybe a not filled in one. Okay, that's kind of good, but I'll do it better. I did not. Okay, good. There were shrimps in the lake. It was so strange. There's a lot of creatures that I don't know about. I would like to know about all the creatures. Yeah, they're vibing. They really were vibing. There were so many of them. And like where we were walking was on this like boardwalk thing that was like really close to the water. And it took everything I had in me not to just like reach in and just like grab one out of there. I don't know why. Like some creature overtook me and was like, grab it. Grab the shrimp. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't think that's an appropriate thing to do right now. I don't know why. Oh my god, the other thing that happened while we were there, some people, really just like old men, feel the need to tell you things. Just like with no basis, nothing. We were walking and this like old guy came up to us, and like the water was pretty close to the like, oh, sorry, the boardwalk, and like we're just like strangers, just like a random guy. He just like turned to us and was like, the beavers are raising the lake. And like, I don't know what you say to that. Like, what do you even do? You just go, I don't actually think that the beavers can raise a whole lake. Hello? It was so strange. My mom's family is allergic to cold water. They get hives. Oh. They are not vibing. That's interesting. I feel like being allergic, simply be built different. Being allergic to cold water is not beneficial. What if you have to get in the water? You haven't heard of the lake raising beavers? Oh my god, you know, that one might be on me. That might be my bad. It just seems that's under suspect. And like, why was he just a random old man? And why did he feel the need to tell us that the beavers are raising the lake? Beaver dams make the lake rise, though, because the water can't leave. That's true. But, like, there was, like, no dams around, like, where we were. I'm pretty sure it was just, like, a normal water level thing. He was just trying to warn you. You're right. Gotta be on guard for those beavers. Raising the water level at a rapid rate. I think that, okay, I have this originally as a line here, but I think that's weird. I've just been looking at it for a hot second, trying to determine how to do it. Beaver, oh, that's the same thing. Haha. Okay. I guess so. I just feel like the effect of beavers is not that powerful. I feel like probably, like, the entire season of, like, snow melting would probably just, like, do it, you know? But if it is the beavers that raised the lake, then I'm sorry. They deserve compensation. And I'll pay them. Oh, that's too close. Here we go. Is this a weird gun design? It's a little bit weird. We might come back to it in a bit. You know, we'll just leave that. We'll consider it. And we might come back to it. Okay. Should we do this prosthetic arm or the head next? That's the real question. Because there's much to think about for both of those options. The prosthetic arm has a lot of details. Okay, I think we're going to do the head. The face. Let's do the neck, because I didn't fix it in this sketch. Okay. Cool. I'm kind of genuinely surprised at my ability to draw and talk at the same time, because usually I don't do that. So I'm a little impressed. Okay. Shirt? No. I'm trying to think if I've done anything else cool recently. Have any of you guys done anything cool? Or, like, I mean, not necessarily done anything cool, but just, like, seen anything interesting? Or done anything interesting? Here we go. Oh my gosh, now this line is close to these buckle things. Okay, that's okay. No, I've been sleeping. That's fair. Sleeping is good. I've been thinking about playing Little Nightmares 2 on stream, probably. I've never played, like, a horror game before on my own or at all, but it seems like a cool game. It looks really... I like the style of it. It looks spooky. I remember when... I don't know if this is actually a correct assumption, but, like, it gives me the same vibes as the game Inside. And I used to, like, watch playthroughs of Inside religiously because it really freaked me out. And I feel like if it has a similar effect to how Inside was, I would probably enjoy it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Also, because I've just seen, like, some people playing it around. But I think that could be fun. I don't know anything about it, though, and I've been trying to not look at any more spoilers in case I actually want to play it. Okay. Something about that line was weird. But I'm not sure what. Okay, that's cool. Here we go. How's that? That's okay. I've never heard of Little Nightmares, TBH. Oh, really? It's like a... I don't know that much about it, but it's like... You're like a kid, and it's kind of like... I think it's like a platformer, like, similar to how Inside was. It looks really cool. I want to play it. Have you heard of that game where time skips forward every time you blink? I have. I've seen a few videos. Not videos, like clips, like on TikTok of people playing it, and it seems like... I don't know. It seems really cool. Have you played it before? Or just, like, seen things about it? I think I saw, like, maybe an ad for it. I don't know if I've actually seen anyone playing it. You haven't. That's okay. That's such a cool concept. I really like how Phasmophobia, like, you could, like, hear your mic when you're playing. I think it's really interesting how they're, like, incorporating, like, your real life things into the games. I think that's cool. It adds some, like, a good fear level. Or, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but I think it's neat. It would be really cool, though. Yeah, we could play it. Okay, cool. Okay, we're going on to face mode, and this is sometimes where I have to do it over and over again, so I apologize if I end up drawing this, like, 3 times. Okay, I think we're gonna start with the nose. I usually start with the eyes, but I feel like the nose is like an easier line to understand. Yeah. Drawing 3/4 noses is a little bit of a fear of mine because I always like leave out the one nostril on the other side, even though you like technically would be able to see it from like how it's standing, so it's like a little bit weird, but I just like it always ends up looking like too much information is like too much visual information is there. Oh, let me put this straight up. Okay. Noses are kind of hard to draw because I always feel like you're risking drawing too much details or not enough details on the nose. But I think this one's going okay. I really struggled with the last character for this. How does that look? That's not too weird. That's okay. I think we're going to leave that for now. We might come back to it. The eyes. Okay, here we go. More. That one's kind of thick. Okay. Oh. How are we feeling about that? I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I have to go, unfortunately, but it was nice talking to you again. That's okay. Thanks for coming. It was cool to talk to you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll let you know when I read your book. Bye. All right. Cool. Are those eyes the same as these? Okay. Yes, I think that's good. Okay, we're matching. All right. Okay. Can you tell that's an eye still? I feel like faces are interesting to draw because you gotta get like a fine, no, not fine. You kind of have to like balance between the amount of details, especially when you're doing it like cartoony, because sometimes it can like quickly overwhelm, especially if you zoom in like this, because then you zoom out and like you can't see those like lines I did. But I feel like it adds to it if it's like the correct amount of detail. But it can also take away from it in a pretty big way if there's too much there. I think this eye needs to be thicker to match the other one. Okay. I've been thinking about desserts recently. I said before that my sister made some like cupcakes this week. And I've just been thinking about desserts. I'm a big fan of like cakes or like desserts that have like a bread. Not bread, but like, you know what I mean by bread. I forget the word, dough portion to them. I feel like those are the best. Like cakes or like pie or like pastries. Those really hit. I'm not like as much of a oh, that one eyelash was excessively long. I'm not really like a chocolate person. Or like ice cream. Ice cream's okay. Ice cream can be pretty good in certain circumstances. If it's like hot out or you're like somewhere, then ice cream sometimes is really good. I don't know how I feel about those eyelashes. It's okay. We'll come back to them. Here we go. Okay, cool. Eyelashes are also another thing that I feel like if they're are like positioned well, it will add to it, but they can like really distract if they're like weird. I feel like these ones are a little bit weird as I say this, but that's okay. We don't gotta worry about that. Cool, cool. So I'm pretty sure the goal for this stream will be to just do the line art, unless I like feel like coloring it too. I don't know. I might do the line art and then like the flat colors if we have enough time. But I kind of slowed down a little bit, so that's okay. We'll get back into the grind. We'll pick up the speed a little bit race car driving. What else have I been up to? Not sure. How do those eyebrows look? Oh, those are pretty good. Wait, we have to do the scariest part. Line art sounds good. Yeah. I think that'll be good. I'm like pretty close to being finished it. We just have like a bit. We got a bit more to do. But that's manageable. I feel like I made pretty good time, which is good. Oh, I don't like that line. I used to be so bad at doing line art. But I feel like I've really improved a lot lately. I used to like look up tutorials about how to get better at line art, and everyone would just say you just have to do it, and I was like, no, but tell me how to do it. But you really just have to do it, and that's so annoying. Okay, I think I could do the mouth. I'm pretty sure this face will be like the slowest part of this, and then the rest will be pretty speedy. I think so. Yeah, that's pretty good. Did I do the lips filled in? Oh, I did not do the lips filled in. Okay. With black. That's cool. Okay, nice. You're good now. Thank you. I'm not sure what that was referring to. Oh, at line art. Yes. Oh, thank you. I have improved a lot. Line art used to be a big struggle. It's also like it's significantly easier to do line art on an iPad than it was on the tablet, because like on the iPad the like screen is like right like flush to where you're drawing, and it just like feels a lot more like drawing on like a piece of paper. Whereas like the tablet I had before was like just a tablet. There was like no display or anything in it, so you had to like look at the screen while you were drawing, and it was like so much harder to get it to like be in the right spots and stuff. I also just like through practice got a lot better at making the lines smoother. That one really you just have to do a bunch. I mean, I was just gonna say that it's better to like do them in like one stroke instead of like a bunch of little ones, as I'm doing a bunch of little strokes right here. I feel like that's okay. This part's like a little wobbly in a weird way. Okay, cool. I think that's pretty good. That face went better than I thought it would. I think that I had like eyelid creases drawn in the sketch, but I'm not sure if... Oh, that one's weird. I'm not sure if I should have that. If it will look too busy. Let's see if I can get the shape right. How's that look? I think that's okay. We'll keep him. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I got my gamer focus on to try to draw these eyelids. Tracing the shape of eyes is sometimes difficult. I'm not really sure why, because I don't find drawing the actual eye shape very difficult. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's good. Okay. Let's see. Let's draw the face. So I was thinking of doing some like art streams with like a theme. I guess like a challenge, not really like necessarily a challenge, but like I could do something like a redraw or like a draw this in your style or like some sort of thing with a challenge, because I feel like that might be a little bit more interesting than just watching me draw these commissions, but I have to finish them first before I do anything else. So, did I have a chin shadow? Oh, I do. So yeah, I'm not sure if that would be more interesting or if it's just nice to hang out while I draw some stuff. Here we go. There's gonna be hair there. I love Procreate's, oh my gosh, and it's not gonna work. Oh, it worked. Okay. Their like fill tool is so fun. You get to drag it and just like drop it down. Okay. Let's add some lines here to smooth it out more. Does that look weird? Yep. Maybe we won't do that. I think we're not going to do that. Okay. This is pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the hair. I always like to do hair on a different layer in case it, like, goes wrong and I need to erase all of it, which happens sometimes. Okay. She's also got a hat on. Maybe we'll draw the hat first. But we may also not do that. I'm not going to do that, actually. I changed my mind. We're going to draw this part first. So yesterday I was watching a GeoGuessr stream, and they were talking a little bit about how people don't like watching GeoGuessr. They were like, once everyone sees this, they're going to leave once they realize what it is. But I was like, wait, really? I love watching GeoGuessr. So, like, is that an uncommon thing to watch? I feel like it's so fun to try to, like, guess along with the people. I feel like watching GeoGuessr is fun because it, like, saves me the embarrassment of not knowing where anything is because I don't have to actually be the one playing. Honk. Hello! How's your day going, Bingo Bonko? I hope it's good. Thanks for dropping by. We're drawing this right now. We're doing the line art for it. I watched Cody Ko's video on it. He's played GeoGuessr? That's interesting. I've watched Wilbur Soot play it, and he's like really good. He's like one of the top people, and it's so interesting to see how they just like immediately know. GeoGuessr is neat to watch, not something I'd seek out though. That's fair. I usually don't like look for it in the category, but when people I watch play it, I'm like excited because it's like, I don't know, it's so fun. It also really shines a light on how the fact that we did not have to learn any geography in school. Like, I don't know. We learned like the Canadian geography and nothing else. I like do not know where anything is. I cleaned and got food from Juice's restaurant. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I want food from Juice's restaurant. Cleaning is good. I failed geography in high school. Ooh. Did you guys have to take geography? Like, we just did not have to learn any geography where you're from. I don't know. Like, why not? Because now someone is like, you don't know where anything is. And I'm like, I don't. Yeah, mandatory. I totally don't understand why, like, it wasn't mandatory for us. I feel like our, like, curriculum was kind of, like, weird. Like, we didn't have to do, like, history either. We did, like, social studies, but we just, like, I feel like we missed out on a lot of events that happened anywhere else in the world. It makes me feel kind of guilty. Like, I remember last year, I was watching a lot of videos about people who read Alberta is conservative. That's true. That's the truth. We do not stan Alberta. Yeah, I have never taken a geography class. Like, literally, I feel so dumb. Yeah, I watched, like, a lot of videos from, like, book YouTubers last year, and this one girl that I really like to watch was talked about, like, classics from other places in the world. And it was, like, very eye-opening for me to realize that, like, my knowledge of things that have happened is just, like, zero. Like, we did not have to learn, like, anything about anywhere else in school. And I feel bad about it. I feel so uneducated, lol. That's really, like, I feel like we just missed out on a lot of important things. I feel like I need to go back and learn them all again on my own, because we just, like, learned random nonsense. I did grade 11 social, like, by correspondence, because it didn't fit in my schedule, which means it was just, like, me on my own and the textbooks were so bad. And I just, like, did not learn anything from that year that we were supposed to, like, at all. I don't even know. I feel like we should have a new history class. I feel like you should be required to take a real history class. I, like, don't understand why it wasn't part of our curriculum. That will forever be a mystery to me. Okay, hair. The interesting thing about drawing hair is whenever I sketch it, I, like, don't connect the pieces. But if you don't connect all the pieces, it looks bad when you color it. It was IB curriculum. Did you have to do history in IB? Did you learn more things than the regular one? That's interesting. Yeah, the hair looks bad when you, like, don't connect it when you go to color. I only took in bio. IB? There was no social IB, just history. Oh. But I didn't take it. That's interesting. I think Rebecca took history. I remember she would talk about knowing things, and I was like, uh-oh. We got no thoughts happening here. We got small brain. The only IB class I took was art, and I kind of regret it because there was, like, no point for that. And it really, really messed up my schedule. Yeah, she did. She loved it. I feel like that's nice. I feel like that would have been a cool thing to take because as we know, don't know anything. I failed art IB. Oh my god, like, literally same. Like, the art IB was such, like, nonsense. I don't know. There was just, like, we had to do so many things, and she never liked anything that I had. I was like, I just want to, like, draw good. I just want to be able to draw cool. And she was like, you must tell me the deep secrets to why you've chosen this symbolism. And I was like, there are no secrets. I just thought it was cool. Yeah, I feel like I believe strongly, oh, we're on a different layer, in, like, the fact that you could just draw to just have it look nice, or, like, for fun. Same, I just never did my art journal. I got really good at bullshitting. Fair. I just, like, could not bring myself to do it, because I would just, like, draw something, and then she'd be like, what's the reason? Yeah, I took it away. I took the auto mod off. You can cuss in my chat now. You can say bad words. I would just, like, draw stuff however I wanted anyways, and then she'd be like, why did you do that? And I would be like, I don't know. Yeah. I found, like, I don't know, our art class had a lot of, like, bizarre rules. It was like, you're not allowed to draw dragons, and you're also not allowed to draw in pencil, and you're also not allowed to draw anime or fan art. And I was like, fuck you, all I wanted to do was draw fan art. So I would just draw fan art anyways, and I would just not, like, say what it was. And I'm like, if you can figure out what fan art this is, that's a you problem, and I'm gonna get away with it instead. Art class is a weird time. We did not learn anything in it. Bazinga. I think I'm gonna add bazinga to a word that's not allowed. I'm gonna turn auto mod back on and take bazinga out of here. Sorry, please keep it family friendly. And no cartoons either, right? Like, what did she want us to draw? If you can recognize Homestuck, that's a self-call out. Truthfully. Listen, it wasn't Homestuck fan art. I had less class than that. I don't even know what fan art I was putting in there, honestly. Probably, like, more embarrassing things. Yeah, so many weird rules. She was like, she really wanted us to just be like, oh, you have to, like, feel the pastel trees in abstract. That's real art. That's real art, baby. And I was like, no, let me draw my silly little cartoons. And she was like, okay, you failed. I feel like you did a whole page on Game Grumps once. This is probably true. I did a lot of things that were just like anything that but what we were supposed to be doing. I don't like this piece of hair. How do I make this shape look nice? Impressive. I also did, I don't even know, my art journal that we had to hand in 4 marks was a really wild time. I did like one page where like the background of the like drawing was all writing, but it was all a rant about how she never read any of the writing. And I think it just roasted her halfway down the page, but it was just all written in like small writing. So, you know how it be. Sometimes you just stay not wanting to do things. How does this hat fit on the head? I think this makes sense. I remember that. I don't know why it made me so annoyed that she wanted us to do like all of this like in-depth like artwork and stuff, and then she wasn't gonna like look at any of it in like a lot of details. It was so savage. Maybe I was just annoying as a, you know. I feel like I just had some attitude. It had to get out in weird ways by writing around. I was like, if she takes marks off it, then at least she read the stuff, but she didn't. I think probably why I was annoyed is because I was in my big emo phase and I just had some like real emo pages in there. I was like, ugh, everything is bad. And then she would just mark it and she'd be like, I didn't like this page. And I'd be like, okay, thank you. I guess so. How do you draw hats? I feel like she didn't do anything in class. I feel like I didn't do anything in class, so she didn't like me. What? I feel like she liked you. I feel like you did a lot of things. I feel like, I don't know. She just liked art when people would add random like nonsense to it and be like, oh, do you feel the symbolism? I was like, but don't you ever just want to like draw for fun? I don't know. This is not what a hat looks like, but it's okay. We're going with it anyways. My high school art teacher didn't like me, but I was friends with her best student. But I also was usually the reason the delinquents just hung out in her classroom, and I think she resented me for that reason. Oh, wow. I had to drop out of IB halfway through grade 11 because I was failing so bad. Oh, really? I don't remember that. I feel like, I don't even know, was I think I like stopped it halfway through a year too, because it was just like, what's the point? Art teachers are interesting. Hat. Questionably, but I think it looks like enough like a hat. I was still in your class, but just doing different things. Okay. My goal is to be in middle school art teacher. That's a good goal. I feel like if you're cool, it's like such a vibe, because you just get to like, I don't know. I feel like that's neat. Except being with a bunch of middle schoolers, I'm sure, is a interesting situation. Oh, those lines connect weird. I feel like I would like to teach art because I feel like I had to learn art in a very technical way by myself that nobody like taught us in school. Cause I just like I believe that like anyone can learn how to do art. You just have to practice and like learn the right things to do it and not be taught like nonsense. So I feel like I'm always like, oh, I want to teach you. You can learn. You can do it. I used to work with kids and I always thought I wanted to work with a slightly older group, but also I hate teenagers. So it's a mixed bag. Fair. That's interesting. Middle school art was just throwing clay at each other. Were we in the same middle school art class? I feel like I actually like learned more in our middle school art than we did in high school. I feel like that's where I learned how to like color or like I don't know. I'm kind of struggling with how to put this hair together to connect it all. Okay. I think we have to like add this strand. Oh, but that's different. Yeah, we were. The clay unit was just chaos. Very fair. We were in the same class? Did we sit by each other? Have you ever opened a can with your mouth? I haven't. Like a Coke? Well, just like pulling the like tab thing, or are you gnawing into it like a can opener? Are you using your teeth as a can opener? Oh my god, we were? I only remember very little from that. The tab. Okay, that's not that strange. I feel like I could do it. Are you doing that right now? Have you done it? Okay, that's okay. That's pretty good connection. You usually do it. It feels only in like grade 7 though, I think. Okay, that probably makes sense because I have zero memories from grade 7, but I also don't think I talked to like anyone. I'm pretty sure I just like put headphones in and just like existed. It feels powerful. I do like to do things that feel powerful. I always like to like kick my gate open when I like walk in through it, and I have like kicked through the wood like 3 separate times, but the rush from kicking down an entrance is just like too good to pass up, you know? Maybe I should start biting cans open. I don't really have a lot of cans though. Okay, how should we do this part of the hair? It needs to like not be too close to all these lines, but it is too close to all these lines. Now what does one do about that? Unsure. Oh, I forgot to add my alerts to this scene. I'm so sorry. If anyone has like done anything, I don't have alerts on right now. Oops. Rip. Maybe I should put those in right now. Okay, small distraction. Add existing. Follower alerts. Rip. So sorry. Okay, they're here now. You followed. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize I forgot to put them. I actually thought about that last time. Like yesterday. No, not yesterday. Whenever I was setting this up, I was like, I need to remember to put the follower alerts on, and I forgot. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay. I've created a weird hair situation for myself here. It either needs to like touch all of these lines or not touch any of them, but I think it has to touch them because it's like the same length on the other side. Maybe it should go like, is that weird? It's kind of weird. Oh my gosh. We've been stuck on this hair for a hot second. Maybe it can like connect with this piece. We gotta do some art problem solving. Okay, wait, I think that's okay. If this one like goes up. We're on a different layer, right? Yep. Interesting. I liked art class, but I liked art class because I never did art in it. We always just like did anything but art. We just talked about whatever, and that was fun to do. Maybe like that. That's like weird. I don't know. I guess it'll just be like this. Not ideal. But I'm not sure how to change it. So that's alright. Now I'm going to go back and make things thicker. I like to add like line weight afterwards. I feel like it's fun. Makes it look a little nicer. Thicker. It needs to be thicker. How do we get it more thick? Like that. I love line weight. I wanted to like be able to do those like thin like styles of drawing where it's like all the same like thickness. I feel like they look really cool. Like I don't know how to explain. Oh, this is like real close to the eye. I guess it should just touch it. Okay, that's okay. But I just like draw thick lines sometimes. A lot of the times, every time. I always draw thick lines. I love the thick lines. How you guys feel about thick lines? I don't know how to do line weight. Oh. You can do it in like a lot of different ways. Some people do it when they're actually like drawing the lines. I like to just like come back when I'm done and put like thicker lines on the bottom. We are two sides of a pea pod. Oh, you draw thin lines? I be doing thick lines. Yeah, I just like to come back and put thickness around all the places where it would like be the bottom or like where it like feels heavier, I guess. It's a weird way to say it. I feel like it gives it like a nice thingy. The vibes. I also feel like it helps make it clearer. It just like separates them. I think it's really cool when people can do thin line art though, because you have to like have good command of like what you're up to make it like still appear clear. I'm not sure I do thin lines. My line weight is just unintentional. That's fair. I think it looks pretty good though. I just like how like having real thick parts like adds like it can just like really make it clear what is what in your thing. I feel like I just used to struggle with like all the details getting lost. Okay, I think that's pretty good for hair. Oh, that's not the eraser. What do we think? Wait, let's get the sketch out of there. Okay. Okay. Pretty good. I'm gonna add... Oh, wait. Am I back in the hair? Yep. Gonna add some of these bad boys around. I do love to add random two lines next to each other. Maybe... Okay. Picking the positioning of things is interesting. Should I give the clown a tongue? Tongue and teeth. I think you should give it a tongue. Will you be able to stick it out? How does it like track that? Can it track that? I don't know like how in depth your VTuber stuff is. There are already teeth. More teeth. Who says only one row of teeth? You don't have to stop there. It can't track it, but you can have different facial expressions set. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I really don't know much about how VTuber stuff works, like how it's set up or anything. Does it like how does it track which emotions? Soggy Hunk says, "Ask Soup where the mecha claw is." It's a secret for later. Usually when a VTuber's facial expression changes to like happier sad they're hitting a key. Oh, really? I did not know that. I thought it was all like tracking. That's interesting. Having to like, okay, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. That's cool. I like hearing about how like all the other stuff works. Oh my god, that line is too thick. Please be less thick. That looks weird there. We need like a line in the middle of between those other ones. Okay. I think this should come here. Soggy Hunk says he can't work without his mecha claw. What is he working on with the mecha claw? It's my turn with the mecha claw. Okay, I think we're gonna add some double lines around for the hair vibes. Maybe. We will maybe do that. Not there though. Oh, I guess that kind of looks better. Wait, let me do that better. I don't know why this hair part is taking me so long. I think I could just keep getting distracted. Let me erase this. No, I don't like that there. Hair vibes. I like drawing all the details like this on once you turn the sketch off, because I feel like sometimes having the sketch layer on like for too long will like trick you into like thinking there's like more depth and dimension into the drawing than there actually is. That's like one of my other tips. If you like are drawing with the sketch layer on, make sure you turn it off, because it will look different. And then you will be sad when it looks different and you didn't realize, and you will go, uh-oh, why does this look so much worse? Cool. Okay. I think we need like that. Yeah. All right. So now we've kind of reached the point where I just like start thickening lines. I really like seeing how other people's like art process goes, because I feel like it's always very different. Everyone does things very different from each other. And I think that's cool. I like to just go make all the lines thick at one point. I usually just like thicken it, not like that, wherever it like intersects with things or is like the bottom part. I should do an art stream next time I actually draw for fun. You should. It'd be cool. I want to see you draw. Then you can tell me all your things that you do. And we can see how you don't draw thick lines. What do you use to... Everything's been for D&D right now. Oh, that's very fair. Yeah, this is for a commission that I'm working on for someone. They're making like a... It's sort of like a D&D style, like a tabletop role-playing game. And these are the characters for the book. So yeah, I haven't really had time to draw other things yet. I have like some projects that I've been working on. I mean, that I like pushed off for school. So, oh, that's super cool. Yeah, it's neat. I think it's... Here, I'll show you the other one I have in here for reference. So, I'm doing like 5 characters for them for their like base character selections. But yeah, I think it will be cool. It's like an interesting project. It's really fun to work with people who like have a good idea of what they want and like have a cool idea. Because then it's like fun. You're like, oh, this is such a cool design and a cool vibe. I like it. Yeah. But I've kind of been grinding, doing all the stuff that I've been putting off, so I have other stuff to do. I mean, so I have free time to do things. Like stream and work on my D&D character for you. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna work on it today. That's my plan after this. Yeah, right now I'm just on my thick line arc. We're making everything thicker. No pressure, you have time. Thank you. I wanna I want it to be good. Yeah, I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. I'm a little nervy. I don't wanna I don't know. I want it to be good. I don't wanna goof it for anyone. Okay. Thickness. Here we go. I think that looks good. Okay, I guess we should do this other arm. Let's do this other arm. We'll bring the sketch back. Also questionable to add the iguana later, or maybe not, but we'll consider that. It'll be fine. I can let you know if anything should be edited, but edits will be minor. Thank you. I really appreciate all of your help. I feel like it's nice to have other people to I don't know, work on it with, so it's cool. Oh, I'm on a different layer. We'll merge that. Yeah. It's cool, it's cool. Okay, time to do this robot arm part. Oh, that's a little bit weird. I'm kind of excited. I gotta dust off my role-playing improv skills. It's been a hot second since I've had to use them. But I want it to be good. Are people gonna do character voices? I'm intimidated by having to do a character voice. I do feel like it really adds to the immersion. You can. Don't have to. Okay. We'll see. Are you going to do them? Maybe I gotta work on my accents. Potentially. But I would like interaction in character. Yeah, that makes sense. I have to do voices just to keep characters organized. That's fair. Yeah, it is hard to differentiate if you don't do the voices. I'll think about it. I feel like it's easier to improv in a different voice because then it removes you from yourself. You get to be a little different. It's easier. But I'm also not very good at any voices in particular. So that's a struggle. Okay, we're doing another hydration break. Also true. Water bottle ASMR. Okay. I'm awful at accents. Me too. I cannot do a single accent to save my life. I would love to be good at accents. I feel like it's so neat and such a cool thing when people can do them. You can use them in so many ways for comedy or just in life. I feel like it's so fun. They're just hard. And I feel like if you do a bad one, it's just embarrassing. My uncle can do a killer Scottish accent, and he used to whip that out at birthday parties, and it would make me go feral as a child. I'm eating an orange and watching Soggy Hunk look for the mecha claw. Oh wait, is that claw thing at your house? I feel like I actually do know what you're talking about. I feel like I have been grabbed by the mecha claw. Why do you have that? I kind of want it. One of my favorite things that we had as a child, we had this telescopic magnet. It was just a magnet on the end of a telescopic pole, and I thought that was lit. I can do an iron action if I say whale oil beef hooked. Oh my god, you got me. I think I read it slow enough. Haha, get wrecked. Fair. I can do no accents. My pronunciation was too powerful. It evaded your pranks. Oh my gosh. Don't know how to draw a circle. we be struggling to draw circles today. No, not a trick. It sounds like, well, I'll be fucked in an Irish accent. But it is kind of a trick. And then I can do one. It's like a crutch. Oh, I see what you mean. That's kind of fun. I wish I could do an Irish accent. I just wish I could do any accent. We should learn how to do accents. Oh my gosh, we're coming back to this circle. It's causing me emotional distress. Did Soggy Hunk find the mecha claw? I'm left in anticipation of the location of the mecha claw. Those lines are kind of close together. Okay. Okay, I guess I do need to draw the circle because it's like the main part of this. But you know, we might just avoid it for a little bit. No, he's still looking for it? Dang. Fingers. I would love to try to avoid drawing all hands, but here we are. Trying to draw hands. A little bit. It's like 2 fingers. It's okay. Not that bad. Okay, that finger's way smaller than the other one. We love the struggle. I feel like the day, if it ever comes, that you can like confidently say you can draw hands is the day you become unstoppable. Like, what do you even have left to draw once you can draw hands? That's like the final struggle of everyone. I feel. At least it is for me. What else is really hard to draw? I think shoes are really hard to draw. I'm pretty alright at drawing hands, but I cannot draw hair for the life of me. Really? That's like the opposite. We really are 2 peas in a opposite pod. I love drawing hair. I mean, this hair is kind of bad, but usually I like drawing hair. Hands are so hard for me. I always like... Soggy Hunk says draw feet. We will not be drawing feet. We will not be breaking TOS today. Are you allowed to draw feet? What are you allowed to draw on twitch.tv? I feel like feet are also impossible to draw. I've just never even tried to draw a foot before in my life. And I have had no reason to, so... I've been spared. Oh my gosh, these are worse than before. Okay, we might come back to these. Oh, we're going back to the circle that I couldn't draw. Yeah, I think shoes are really hard to draw. And I think the like place where like the like body like connects, like I think where the neck connects to the shoulder and like where your arms connect to the torso are like really hard to draw sometimes because it just like is a 3D situation happening. It's like a very 3D connection going on. That is like difficult to get across in like a 2-dimensional drawing, especially when it's like at a different position than it normally would be at, because it's just like so confusing and like sometimes it looks really weird just like IRL. It's like doing a weird thing. Same with like elbows or like what else? Any like joints just look really weird. And so like drawing them accurately can just be difficult. Something that like people wanted like frequently as a tattoo was like a ring around a joint. Like so like a circle that like went around a knee or an elbow. But those like look so like they're so difficult to place and they're so difficult to do because your skin is so stretchy there and it's like real like it moves around so much and your like joints move around so much that it's just like always a little off and it just like looks real janky. Much like this circle looks real janky, but I don't really want to do it better than that, so it's going to remain janky. Okay, I guess this needs to connect. So it's not weird. Okay. Here we go. Alright, alright. Cool. I'm gonna do this on another layer so it's all one line. Ooh, parallel lines trick. I like how Procreate lets you like hold to make like a more perfect shape, but I feel like it's like sometimes it does it worse. But it works well for lines that are just supposed to go straight. Okay, if we do it like this, then that kind of matches the gun design. And then it's like it's the same thing. Matchy matchy. I love when things match. I feel like I'm so extra. I like when things match so much. Sometimes I'd be like, I'm matching my nails and my this to this to this, and people are like, why did you do it so much? And I'm like, I don't know. Soggy Hunk says, I don't need the mecha claw. I've decided. He can just suffer. If he wanted a mecha claw, he shouldn't have lost it. Who needed the mecha claw? What is the hidden lore behind this? We need more information on the mecha claw. Oh. Okay. Okay. This is probably fine. Alright. We fit in shapes in other shapes. Life hack. Just put random shapes. Machinery. People who can draw machinery well, I commend you because it's just complicated and I can't be bothered to like make it look like actually how it would function. I'd just be adding shapes and lines until it looks kind of cool. Soggy Hunk says, just some blacksmith or something. I don't know, I'm not his mom. Okay. I guess so. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. It's alright though, because if you just add enough lines and enough shapes, it gets the idea across. Like, yeah, you're like, oh, something is going on in there. What's he building in there? What am I building in here? Right now, an arm. That's okay. Cool. I like adding screws or rivets. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. I don't think I've ever done that, but that makes a lot of sense because the screw is pretty easy to draw. Okay. Here we go. I'm almost finished, but I kind of have to pee. Should I take a pee break, y'all? Or should I just try to do it till the end? There's not that much left. Then you could see my BRB screen, though. I don't know, not having screws kind of makes it look more seamless and high-tech. That's true. This arm is supposed to be pretty, like, seamless, but I think screws are cool for, like, other things I could do. Especially if it's, like, on a robot or something that's, like, supposed to look older. I guess just different vibes. One of the, like, things of this project was that it was supposed to have, like, a mix of, like, types of machinery. From, like, really seamless to, like, things that look like Nerf guns to things that look more like, what's it called? Like, machinery? I don't know. So it would be cool to add something like that. I might do that for some of the other characters. I might steal your tricks right out from under you. Might do a little bit of thievery. Okay. We add in the knuckles. Let's draw this hoverboard. Screws are better for like steampunk, just like circles where rivets would be here are better for high tech. Yeah. That makes sense. Kind of want to draw an IKEA furniture themed like weaponry. Y'all got that flat pack gun? I want to know what IKEA branded weapons would look like. Maybe I should draw that. Okay. Pretty good. If you could have any like store themed weaponry, what would it be? Honestly, IKEA is a pretty elite choice. What else it might be funny? I feel like there's lots of things that would be funny for that. That's kind of a cool idea. Toys R Us. I love my Toys R Us gun. I also don't know Goodwill. Thrift store themed weaponry is kind of cool, a cool idea, because there's like so much stuff that ends up in there. It could just be like anything. Like, there's so many weird things you can find at the thrift store. I would love to just see like a gun with like a sticker on it with just like one of those those like thrift store t-shirts that are like, I hate my wife. You know what I mean? Or just like random nonsense on them. I like that. That's funny. Don't ask me what's happening in the other part of this hand. I don't know. We're just going with it. I guess that's weird. It needs to be like all one. Goodwill. What other stores even are there? Chapters themed missile. Oh, I guess I didn't put these lines in. Here we go. I still struggle with like folds of clothing and stuff. I feel like it's difficult to understand unless you like spend a lot of time on it, which I have not done. Clothes just like move in a very unique way. It's a little bit difficult to like keep track of. Lego! That's a good one! You're hitting us with a banger ideas. Oh my god. What? I like that. Maybe we should draw some. If I was better at drawing things from my mind, I would totally draw all of these. That's so cool. How's this looking? Pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna draw just one like hoverboard thing and then I'm gonna duplicate it so they're the same because I can do that because this is digital art. Oh, that's a Sonic Riders hoverboard. I thought it was a blanket before you lined it. Nice. Yeah, it's a hoverboard thing. I'm just kind of going with it. Okay. That's weird. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom or I'm gonna explode. So I'm gonna put you on my be right back screen. If you guys want to stick around, that would be cool. It'll just be like a couple minutes, but if not, that's alright too. Here you go. Hello, I've returned from the bathroom. Do you like my be right back screen? I animated it myself and I don't know how to animate, so that's pretty exciting. It was definitely a struggle, and I just did it in Procreate, which is like definitely not an animation software. Um, so I just had to like draw every frame out, but that's okay. It looks pretty. It's pretty cute for having no idea what I was doing, I think. Okay. I think I'm just going to finish, yeah, the lines and then be done for today. I'm planning on starting my Stardew Valley series. Oh, I didn't do this on another layer. That's okay. I'm planning on starting my Stardew Valley series on Monday. I just have like a couple mods downloaded for it. I've never played it on PC. I've only played it on Switch. So I have a couple just like basic mods down for it, and then it's just going to be like another chill, like just going to like start a new farm save, I think. Paste. Nice. I'm not sure if anyone else uses Procreate, if this is a problem they have, but I like cannot move things without like resizing them. I have to like zoom in to like get it to move, because or else it just makes it bigger or smaller. And if so, if anyone knows how to fix that, please let me know, because it's kind of frustrating. What's on here? Okay, we're gonna add some stickers to the bottom of the hoverboard. I think this is supposed to be a big one. Sometimes I draw things in my sketch and then I don't remember what I was trying to draw when I come back to do the lines. That's always a fun surprise for me. I've gotten better at not just leaving big masses of confusing things for me, though. Oh, okay, let's do the fishnets under here. On the same layer as the chains. I I also think a good tip if you're going to do like really clear line art, like how I'm doing, is to like do lots of stuff on different layers. Because then you can like come back and you can like change the colors of them easier. I really should do it more, but sometimes it just gets annoying to keep track of lots of layers. But if you can do it and you don't have too many layers, I think it's really beneficial. It gives it like a cleaner look at the end, especially if you like to change the colors of it. Usually I like to change like the colors of the line art that I do, but I haven't done it this time because I think the black looks good. Also because they're going to be like printed out in a book, in like a physical book, so I wanted to make sure like it was clear when it got printed, like none of the details got lost in the printing, which is also why, I don't know if you've noticed, but this like circle is set to CMYK instead of like the normal RGB if it looks a little different and you're like, huh, why? That's why. Because we gotta be aware of printing things. I had a stall at an art walk for a little bit a couple years ago, and I remember making prints for it and trying to print out some of the digital art I had and just getting absolutely screwed over by like the printer because I just didn't think about how like the colors would look different like being printed out. But so now I have learned my lesson. And now I pay attention to if I plan on printing things out. That's sometimes like a couple people have asked me if I want to make prints or if I would make prints, and like I would love to have prints, but I'm really worried that like the stuff that I've drawn would look really bad if it were to be printed out because it just wasn't meant to be printed. It was just drawn digitally. Okay. Let's put this. What is this? Oh, this. Merge that. Okay. I think we just have to do the lettering, which I'm not very good at. We'll do it on this layer. You know what? I might do the lettering later with like, well, I guess, no. I'm going to do it a different time. I think I'm going to add some more line weight to stuff, and then I'm going to be done. Because we've been going for a while, and I'm kind of tired. But this has been good. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. If you've stuck around, I really appreciate it. I love adding the line weight. I feel like it's so satisfying because everything starts to get like a lot of dimension. And then like you really separate things from each other and it starts to pop out. I feel like when you color things, it like really sets them apart too. So like, I guess another thing you could do if you like didn't do such thick line weight like I do is just like once you color it, everything goes apart and becomes really clear. I also like to use it to like fix tangents if there's like lines that are too close to touching each other. I feel like it's a good way to make them look less weird to your eyes. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird to explain a lot of art things because I don't really know why they work. They just like kind of do work. Oh, I didn't do the belt buckle. Okay, we'll come back to that too. Oops. At a certain point, you just learn to feel it out. Yeah, exactly. You're just like, feels good. I learned like a lot of all the stuff I know how to draw now just through like tutorials online. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they don't get enough credit in the like whatever art world because, I mean, maybe they do now. I might just be saying nonsense. But I feel like they're so helpful. I like only learned how to do stuff because of how it got explained on the internet. They just like, I think the difference is that a lot of the tutorials that I would look at on like Tumblr or whatever would just like explain exactly what you needed to do to get like a certain vibe. And then you're like, oh, I understand exactly what I need to do to get that to happen. And I feel like that was really beneficial. And then it lets you like pick out what other people are doing and like why it's good. And then you're like, oh, I understand why it looks good. I should do that. I should steal that. We love stealing. Make this thicker. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this like a vitals thing. Oh. We gotta get the, what is it? QRS? That's wrong. I don't know what it is. Whatever this thing is called. This is not a good heart beat. If your heart's looking like this, probably not a great sign. Probably might need some medical attention. I like this song. Heart rate monitor. Yeah. No, but like the like actual like whatever this shape is has like a name. But it's not that. I think this is, oh my gosh, I should know this because I got tested on it. We will never know. We could look it up. Maybe we should look it up so I can give you the facts. We can learn something today. Is it called that? It is called the QRS complex. Okay. Look, we're learning. Here we go. I'll show you your heart rate thing. It should go like this. You got the P wave, the Q wave, the R wave, the S. I don't know if they're all waves, and the T. That's what it is. Do you feel like you've learned? ECG machine or something? I don't know. I just always get in trouble because my heart rate is super fast and it sets off the alarms on the system. Oh no. Yeah, this is like the readout of an ECG. That's electrocardiogram. Yeah. That's no good. The alarms are scary. Yeah, we had to learn how to like read some of the things for it this year, but honestly, I finished school and immediately dumped all of the knowledge I was supposed to remember, and I will regret that next year and when I actually have to do things, but that's okay. I will learn it again. My brain is so full. My brain is fully empty now. I'll be experiencing no thought, no think. I have so much knowledge of like random animal things now. I feel like my program was quite interesting because like we learned some things in depth and some things in like hardly any detail. So I have like a really weird array of knowledge because you pretty much just learn what's important to what you're doing. So I'm like, oh, I could tell you some things, but not others. So that's pretty cool. I feel like next year our program is going to be a lot of like the technical skills. We're going to have to like actually do stuff and I'm threatened. Sometimes the nurses in the hospital just turn off the warning alarms because your heart is way too fast. It's fine, probably. Yeah, I think so. Everybody has different normal ranges of things. The machines don't understand. I'm really curious how similar human medicine is to the stuff that I've learned. I just want to know. But I don't have any reference. Yeah, every time I learned about a weird animal thing, I was like, oh, does this happen in humans? Guess that will remain a mystery. Because I don't know how to Google it. especially anesthesiology. I'm just like really curious how similar it would be because we were just out there like doing it, and I'm like, oh, I thought there would be more. I feel like there's a lot more in human anesthesiology that goes into it. Have you guys ever gone under anesthesia? I had to go under anesthesia when I got my wisdom teeth out, and it was awful. I threw up, and I like threw up like 4 or 5 times, and it was kind of brutal. I did not have a great recovery. Oh no, my iPad is frozen. You used to have an anesthesiologist you saw monthly? That's a lot. I feel bad. Did you throw up? It made me super nauseous. Really? Never? That's good. That's lucky. I only had like one experience and it was so bad. I'm like really thankful that I haven't had to have more. Except I might have to have more. My teeth are really bad. Or they were, but I've had a lot of orthodontics work done. So they're no longer bad. But I have some molars that like were supposed to erupt because they were like impacted with my wisdom teeth. Oh my gosh, my iPad is freezing. And they were like, yeah, if these don't erupt like once you get your wisdom teeth out, we're gonna have to like come back and pull these ones out too. And they have yet to erupt. And I don't really want to go get them pulled out. I didn't go under anesthesia when I got my wisdom teeth out and it was rough. Oof, that's not the vibe. I would not have desired that. Yikes. He worked at the pain clinic. We never actually talked about anesthesia. I didn't know why he was an anesthesiologist. Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. You learn a lot about analgesia and pain control with anesthesia, so that makes sense. But I've been knocked out a lot to put tubes in my lungs and stuff. Ooh, lung tubes, not fun. Did you ever barf? Or am I just an odd one out here, getting real barfy? Yeah, I'm kind of lucky. My medical experience is slim. I haven't had to be in the hospital for many things. I did get the H1N1 when I was a child, and that was not very cool. And I had to go pee in a cup, and I did not understand the concept of peeing in a cup however old I was. They just like handed me a cup, and they were like, you have to pee in here. And I was like, what if I miss? Like, just in the room? I didn't understand that you like went to the bathroom the same. You just peed in the cup. That was a big stress point. Really, really burned into my memory for all of time now. I wasn't told I was getting my wisdom teeth out. It just kind of happened after a regular dental visit. What the heck? Is that allowed? I don't know if they can just steal your teeth like that. I mean, I guess so, if that's what happened. Huh. Mine were in there pretty bad. They were like in there sideways and like up against more teeth. And like they had to like shave part of my upper jaw away to get it out, which like really extended my healing process by a lot. I had to like recover for like a month. It was kind of bad. When I was like taking the time off of work for the like surgery, they were like, oh yeah, you just need like a couple days. And then I was like out for like a couple weeks. I need to get my wisdom teeth pulled, but I just moved provinces and now I don't know what to do. Oh, fair. That's kind of scary. I don't know either. I guess you have to get a new, like, regular dentist. I feel like the place where I got my wisdom teeth out, I would not recommend. It was very weird, and they did, like, not give me a lot of information about what was going on. This kind of knocked me out. And I, like, woke up in the middle of my procedure. Oh, that's something else. I, like, woke up enough that I, like, moved my hand. And then they were like, oop, and, like, put me back under. So whoever was the anesthesiologist was doing a bad job. It was, like, so weird. I was like, oh, God, no, it's just, like, everything that I did not want to happen. But I didn't feel it, like, any of the pain. I just like became awake enough to wiggle around a bit. And then they went, uh-oh, and promptly put me back under. So that was okay. Yeah, it's a weird time for like medical things, I think, because like everything is just all about COVID. But if you have like any other things going on, like, uh-oh. He just kind of did take my teeth out. I don't think it was allowed. What? He left my teeth on the floor of the dental's office. I've had a lot of wild doctors in my time. They just kind of do stuff. Ah! On the floor? Loose? That's like, yikes. My anesthesiologist was great. He also gave me my cannabis prescription like a year and a half before he became my pain clinic doctor. Oh, that's nice. It must be nice to have doctors that don't just leave your teeth on the floor. Did they like ask you before they took your teeth out, or did they just steal them? Like, how did that go down? What occurred? That's kind of bizarre. Like, do you think that if I just like snuck into a dental office, they would just let me steal someone's teeth? You know what's interesting? I always thought that like a lot of like surgical processes were like more, I don't know, complex than they are, especially things like teeth removal or stuff. That's not really a surgical process, but it is in like veterinary medicine. You just pull it out. Like you just pull it with just like a tool that just grabs it better. And like, what's up with that? I thought they would be like, oh, we have to like extract this thing and like not damage this. And they're like, no, we just pull it. Like, I guess so. I guess that's exactly what they say they do, but I don't know. I thought it was more nuanced than that. But at least for animals, you really just yeet it out of there. And I'm sure you do the same for human teeth removals. When they're not like really in there. Very weird. If there's anything that I've learned from my schooling this year, it's that you really, sometimes the answer is you just take it out. You just cut something out if it's bad. I got a cavity filled and a different dentist walked in and was like, while you're here, can I take your wisdom teeth out? And he just kind of did it. Yoink. Oh my god. I guess so. I guess you could just do that. Maybe. Like not even the same. Okay. That's weird. Oh, it's freezing. Please let me zoom out. Oh dear. Oh, we're rocking with the glitchy. Sometimes the Middle Ages were right. Honestly, they were. Sometimes they were. I also had a doctor try to cut my toe off without anesthetic, and my dad had to report him to the doctor police. What? How does that happen? How did that happen? Like, what is the situation? That's so scary. I'm glad that your dad was there to, like, make sure that that didn't go down. Like, what do you do if a doctor is just like, hey, I'm going to cut this off of you? Like, do you say no thank you? Like, do you just go, actually, maybe not? That's so scary. I would not know what to do in that situation. I probably would just be like, huh? I'm glad that I have not had as wild of medical experiences as you. I had an ingrown toenail. They were gonna cut off the whole toe? What was happening? That's bizarre. I was hoping to keep that part. Yeah, you're like, actually, I needed that for later, maybe. would like to have kept that. Did you guys? Oh, did you get to keep your wisdom teeth when they were removed? I did not get to keep mine. They were all crushed and broken up. But my one friend got to keep her teeth when they pulled them out, and she just like had them in a little treasure chest and would just like take them around with her sometimes. And I never got the experience of getting to do that. I feel like I've been cheated a little bit. Oh my gosh, this is really glitching. Oh, please don't be stuck. Okay. That's a little thick. I also had a lung collapse while I was in the insane asylum, and the doctor told me it was just a 3-day-long panic attack. How? Oh my god. I feel bad for you. That's really not the vibe. You'd have just had like wild medical things go down. I didn't get to keep my wisdom teeth, but I got the other 10 teeth I pulled out. You've had 10 teeth pulled out? How many teeth do you have left? My wisdom teeth were just on the floor. I don't know what happened to them. I didn't pick up my bloody teeth. Lol. That's so chaotic. Loose teeth. Did you do anything with your 10 teeth? You could have made like a necklace. Do you still have them? I want to know. Is it immoral to sell teeth if they're just like out of you? He told me to breathe into a paper bag for my collapsed lung. Aren't collapsed lungs like pretty dangerous? Because if air is just like vibing in your like thoracic cavity, it can just like compress your heart, right? Like, why wouldn't they look at that better? They exist somewhere, but I don't know. I think they're at my parents' house. Oh, that's so funny. Maybe you'll find them one day. You'll look through old memories and there will be 10 of your teeth sitting, hopefully not loose, maybe contained, maybe not contained. That would be pretty good. Oh, they'd be nasty. Yeah. Teeth are kind of gross if they've been out there for a while. Oh. Okay. I think this is where I'm going to end for today. I've got most of this line art done, and I think that's it. What do you guys think? I think it went better than I thought it was gonna go, so that's good. Okay, cool. I'm really glad. Oh wait, I've got an end screen. Hold on, ready for this? Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much for everyone who came to hang out. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do Stardew Valley stream on Monday if you want to come check that out. And then I'll also probably be playing Little Nightmares 2 sometime, and maybe more art streams. Who knows? We'll see. I'm gonna get a schedule together soon. And yeah. Thank you guys. I'm gonna put this link to my Discord again if you want to come join it. If not, that's all good. I also have other links if you want. They're on screen. They're in my About section too. Yeah. That's the end. I hope you guys have a good day. See you next time.